this winter storm impacted you in any way, man, or how you holding up in this storm?
Man, I haven't been impacted at all.
Okay.
I had to change routing on a flight, but no other impact.
So you're coming to Columbus, man. You'll be here this week. Are you excited with this tour? New material?
No new material on this one. We still running the stuff that we doing for the special in February. Yeah, we not changing material until we go to custom fit.
You know, your stories.
But it's new material that from the last time I came to Columbus. Yeah.
Gotcha. You know, your stories, they're interesting because it feels like they're built. They're not just told. So what's your invisible structure? I'm always curious about comedians and their approach, you know, with their material. Is there like an invisible structure that you're following? Is there like tension, lesson, reveal, or something else?
Man, I don't know about them all them technical terms of storytelling. I just tell the story, man, from the true angle. I don't have any other way of telling it. You know, I just make sure that it's chronological order, no matter the smallest detail.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't want something that happened before it happened and I'm already past it and then trying to go back and get it. Like no, I just tell it this 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock.
Is there something?
I don't want to talk about 4 and we ain't got the 3 o'clock yet. Like, what happened at 3 o'clock?
Okay.
And then next thing you messed up, don't you? You know you messed up, don't you?
That's kind of was my next question is what do you refuse to sacrifice? Is there something that you just will not compromise in telling your true stories on stage?
What you mean? I would not compromise.
Like when you're shaping a story, what do you refuse to sacrifice? Is it the truth? Is it the rhythm?
Oh, the truth. The
Okay.
truth. Yeah, that's the thing. When I'm remembering, I'm putting emphasis on all the points. So I'm not going to sacrifice the truth because then it won't make sense. It needed to make sense.
What's a moment in your life that was just too true to be funny? You know what I'm saying? And what would have to change for it to become material?
I think that in Domino Effect 2, my sister passed in Domino Effect 2. I never even made mention that my first son passed. Like 4 months later. So I just didn't tell the story. So I don't know if it's too hard to be humorous, but that's not most of the time. It's me. When I'm not being funny, I'm being interesting. So being interesting. So it is a level of interest and interesting points in that ordeal. So, because I'm two folds when I'm on stage, funny, interesting.
I mean, shoot, that response alone was interesting. You know, a lot of times people say comedians, or I've heard other comedians say that most comedians deal with trauma and they come from traumatic, experiences, which turns into, they find the funny in the trauma. Would you relate that to yourself?
And I don't even put things as trauma. These are life experiences. These are things that's going to happen in life.
Mm-hmm.
Trauma is kind of like when you over affected in something. This is traumatic for me. This is what happened. And in it happening, I'm not overwhelmed by death. I'm not overwhelmed by hardship. It seems just like when something is, this is my trauma, you're not accepting like what things happen in the course of life, because good things happen too, and you can't be no good trauma. It's only bad trauma. It's kind of like women only have intuition when you're doing something wrong, but they not intuitive
when you're doing something right.
or they don't have the intuition that you wasn't the person. Like, your
Like, I guess I was trying to ask myself, well, what would be the opposite of bad trauma? Something like, oh, this is the best day of my life. This is the best thing that ever happened to me. That would be considered good trauma.
Yes, I think so many people nowadays have tried to become some sort of therapist and try to put everybody in some sort of box. I haven't heard the word narcissistic so much since the last 2 years. Everybody's a narcissist.
Right.
Every single man is a narcissist.
Yeah.
It's like anytime it ain't going well, he's a narcissist. Something didn't work out, he's a narcissist. And he's toxic. Like, what were they saying before toxic?
That's a good question. I don't know.
He's toxic. He's toxic. What was it before then?
Drama. Maybe.
Oh, he always on that drama.
You mentioned
I hate these new slogans.
Yeah, they're coming up with new words and self-diagnosis every year, it seems like. You mentioned the domino effect, and correct me if I'm wrong, the domino effect idea is basically small choices cascade. So what would you say is the first domino you wish more people notice in their own lives?
Oh man, that's a loaded question because it depends on the life. I would have to know your situation. This is kind of like when a comic asks me, "Hey man, what type of advice do you comic?" And my first thing is, well, I got to get to know you. And people were like, well, what, man, you ain't got no advice. Now that you want me to give you something that's helpful, or you want me to give you something that's cookie cutter. Okay, cookie cutter. Stay on stage. Cookie cutter. Keep writing. Like, that's cookie cutter.
Right.
First, I gotta spend some time with you to know what you're trying to do. Mm-hmm. What part of this comedy craft you want to be a part of? You want to be a stand-up? within that, do you want to be a slapstick? You want to be a one-liner? You want to be a political? You want to be a storyteller? What What do you want to do? Or do you want to be a sketch comic? Or do you want to be a comedic actor? Or do you want to be a comedic writer? It's a lot to being a comedian. What's the layer? So in somebody's life, I wish that he would kind of see his sensitivity to things. That would be particular to somebody who's sensitive. You know, that I know, like, hey man, you find the dark lining in everything. Like you can't get over your feeling. You know, and if you a man engulfed in your feeling, then something is wrong. You know, where you can't, your feelings overload your thoughts.
I see you like with your YouTube channel. Well, first, before I get to that, because I want to ask you about mentoring and pouring into other comedians. But before I get to that, I want to talk about the business of comedy. You know, you've built this massive reach through your YouTube channel. In addition to touring, what's one decision, maybe an unpopular one for yourself, that changed your career more than any viral clip did?
Deciding to leave an agency.
So you manage yourself, or do you have your own personal manager now, or
Managing an agency different.
break that down?
Okay, so your manager manages your career. Your agent books it. So with your agency book, your manager manages. And then your road manager manages things on the ground. You know, so me leaving an agency and just having a manager and a road manager was a big adjustment, which kind of more fit me.
Good or bad? Did you go through some turbulence during that transition?
Fit me better.
Got you. You know, it's interesting because I was watching an interview with Keith Sweat, and Keith Sweat said he has no managers throughout his whole entire career. And he's been in the game for like 40 years. He said he has no manager. And he says it's more good. He gets more of the money, but the downside, he may miss some big opportunities, but he's okay. He's built a career that, you know, and sustains a lifestyle that he enjoys. Let's talk about now. You've built this platform, YouTube. We talked about it the last time we had a conversation. Obviously, it's profitable, but you've now set it up as a platform for other comedians. What inspired you to do that, to bring on other comedians, you know, on your channel?
That's not no inspiration. That's who I am. Yeah, I'm part of a team. You know, I came up like that, and you want your friends to do well. You don't. I've never wanted to be the only one doing anything. You know, so you don't want to be the only person rich. You don't want to be the only person traveling. You don't want to be the only person selling out. You don't want to be the only person with a nice car. You don't want to be the only person doing anything. Say, what type of person is that? Want a bunch of people around them that don't have the same thing. Mm-hmm. You know, so I wasn't inspired by anything but how I am. It's like, yo, you got this. You want to invest in your friends to have it. Tripping on that.
Would you say there are more comedians like that within the industry?
Nah, come on now. You know
that. Had to ask.
So, you know, this is Hollywood is a selfish place,
Yeah.
and that's the whole thing. I don't live in Hollywood. Yeah.
People love a redemption story, but they often skip the middle, the ugly part, the transition. What did changing actually cost you? Did was it friends? Was it ego? Was it identity, money, safety? Like, what was it like during that transition?
And changing what?
When from when you transition from coming out of prison, realizing that you have this gift of storytelling, and then just made a decision.
They
I'm going to do stand up comedy.
they don't correlate. They two different things. I didn't lose anything. I'm coming home from after 6 years. I don't have the same friends. I don't have the same circle. I'm a solo act at this time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just coming home and restarting my life. I ain't lose nothing. I had already lost everything. Like I was in prison. I didn't have nothing. So it was like I'm coming home and I'm finna get to work.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't even looking for the same friends or the same circle. I was looking to just do what I was doing. I had already invested my thoughts into because I didn't know how to become a comedian. It's no class on that. It's no class that I knew about. I started Just Joking Comedy Cafe on Apollo night. And this more than just, I'm gonna write some jokes and go on stage. You got to start building your story, and you not gonna start the same way you're gonna end.
Mm-hmm.
I was way more physical as a comic back then, and then that was when I was writing jokes, and then at somewhere in there you start getting alliances that's giving you advice, and you start applying that advice, and then you start molding yourself into something different. Yeah, but I didn't have no what I lost because I knew I wasn't going back to selling dope, and I wasn't gonna have the same lifestyle I had when I got locked up. The same money. I got to start from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
And my era, start from scratch ain't bad.
Yeah. What would you say was the pivotal moment for you from writing jokes to, all right, I'm gonna start telling stories? Who was it that you said these alliances was I guess giving you some insight or what have you?
So in the book that I published a couple of months ago, Applied Advice, it's the exact story. It's 13 pivotal moments. It's not just one. It's you get to a certain point. It's kind of like being an athlete. Okay. You're coaching in Pop Warner, and the advice they give you in Pop Warner is not the same as middle school. Then you go to high school, different coaching, different points, different motivation. Then you go to college, different coaching, different system, different motivation. Then you go to the pros if you're so lucky. Different coaching, different system. Then in that, you manage to go to the Hall of Fame from that moment. So is the high school important than the Pop Warner? Or the college? It's all a part of the journey.
Yeah.
So what one person told me in year one is just as important as what somebody told me in year 20. So But when it comes to telling a story, I've always told a story. It's just the intricate part of hey man, when you're not being funny in the story, be interested in the story. But that's Billy D. Washington. If you go to the funniest you're going to ever be is based on how honest you want to be. That's D.L. Hughley.
That's interesting because I think about. I want to ask you this question. I'll preface it like this: like I watch you, George Carlin, Dave Chappelle, and a few others. They do this what you're saying, funny, interesting, funny, interesting. What do you enjoy more when you're performing? The laughter or the silence in the audience as they're paying attention to your story? Or are they both the same?
They the same. They the same. Exactly the same. I hear it exactly the same.
You're in a different class, Ali. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been a fan for past 4 or 5 years. I think when I first interviewed you 2 years ago, I told you, I caught you the first time, I think, in Richmond at the Funny Bone, and then I caught you again here in Columbus, Ohio, and just been a fan ever since. But there's certain comedians that have laughter every 20 seconds. You know what I'm saying? Then there's ones that have dead silence. They're telling you something compelling, and you're building up for the anticipation. And it's only few, in my opinion, I could be wrong, that do that, and you're one of those, man. So just my hat is off to you for, stepping to your own drum. You know what I mean? Also, congratulations, man. The Image Award for My Two Sons, nominated for the 2026 NAACP Image Award. Speak about that when you got the news on that, man. How does that feel?
It's really more about cracking the code as an independent. I don't know if they're gonna let me win it, but it's one of them things that it's another log in the fire for independent artists. Another log in the fire for independent artists to keep pushing. And maybe we can get nominated for Oscars and all these other things. The Oscars on YouTube this year, so how they gonna ignore a YouTube presentation? You know what I'm saying? Oscars on YouTube.
Do you have any works in the future as taking some of these stories and turning it into film, or maybe a Netflix series or YouTube series?
Man, see, there you go. You're talking about Netflix. I ain't on Netflix, and I don't plan to be.
Well, I was just throwing that out there. It could be Amazon or Peacock or Paramount.
There you go. You want me to validate it, and I'm not doing it. I don't want to be on none of them networks. I'm cool. I'm cool with what I'm doing.
Okay.
My success comes with me, and I say this to Black people all the time. Black people want us to be independent. They say independent, have your own, but then still want us to be white validated. It would kind of almost be an insult to people who following me at this point for me to go and sign a deal with somebody else.
Well, that wasn't the intent of my question. I guess it's more so these stories that you're creating and they're becoming widely successful. Do you see yourself
at the same place that you caught the specials?
Okay, all right. Well, no, yeah. not so much as the same place, but are they going to become like with actors and a television show, something like that, or a movie?
It's gonna be something I do independently. Yeah, I'm in my own space. I'm not really rocking with no type of industry I'm cool on them. Like, that's been the Achilles heel to every, like, it's like when people now, we do press. There's people who turn me down for
Really?
press. Yeah, you know, shows that I've been on. And I'm cool with that. You know, if I'm not talking about prison, then they don't want to talk. But my life is way bigger than that. You're not finna keep me in 1997.
Mm-hmm.
You're not from 91 to 97. You ain't finna keep me there. And that's the biggest thing about my two sons being nominated. Got nothing to do with prison. Got
Right.
something to do with me and my two sons.
Yeah. And big shout out to Monday too, man. Oh my God.
Mondays is crazy.
Yo, the numbers is running up on that, man. It was over like 3 million views, close to 4.
3.4.
Yeah. Hilarious, man. And you know what's crazy about that is the simplicity of it. You know, the simplicity of every story that you tell in that special, it all happened on a Monday. You know what I'm saying?
Started on Monday.
Started on Monday, man. And so, man, your brother, that really happened to your brother? And now, I don't want to spoil it for folks, but if you know, you know. That really, like, that everything in that story was to the T?
You know, this is the other thing that I'm trying to, bigger than the nomination, bigger than the winning award. I'm trying to get to a space where it's like rappers. A lot of the stuff that rappers say, especially new ones, didn't happen. But people never asked them if that really happened. They believe the persona. So we going back to bigger these bars on up, haven't told not one story that wasn't true. Even with Todd Manuel coming on saying it happened just like that and showing the footage, people still ask me about multiple stories, not just that. Hey, man, is that true? And I'm still like, man, when the hell do I tell made up story? It's the whole thing, that's the whole cachet, that's the whole business of me, telling the story. Who tells a 4-part series from 10 to 25? And then go from that to my sons, then be vulnerable as telling how people that, hey man, I be fucking up in the house. So why would I start telling fake stories? It's my brother. I'm only telling the story what it is. And who tells a fake story with this much detail? Unless you Harry Potter.
I don't think that people, and I can't speak for other people, I could just speak for myself. I believe the stories, but I just was like, man, all of the intricate details, like, that it's so entertaining and hilarious that it's like, oh my gosh, you know, not so much so for me, I don't believe you, but it's just like, oh my gosh, this is hilarious. You know, did you really hang up on him and tell him, scam? I seen it on the news, you know, and telling your family about it.
And it's deep. Just like my brother be like, yeah. He's like, so why you ain't calling? Man, I was just so happy to be out. I ain't think it was just like it is. And that's the thing. That's why I put in the book, DL told me the funniest you ever be is based on how honest you are. So I just be honest. I don't have to write a lot because I just have to remember. A lot of other comics write. No knock on that, because that's the craft. But it's better when you have to just remember.
Right. You speak a lot. You speak highly often about DL and his impact with you. And are there any other comedians that has poured into you, gave you good, wise counsel other than DL Hughley?
Mr. Anthony, you're gonna have to get my book, bro.
Okay.
It's all in the book. The applied advice is all in the book. All 13 people.
Well, that's a good segue. First of all, I will look in.
You know I had no book.
I will get the book. I will get the book, and I'm a reader.
I got 2 books.
No, I did not know. I did not know.
Yeah, I got 2 books.
Okay, and I'm a reader, so I'm gonna hold you up to that, man, and hopefully I'll get to see you in Columbus this week.
You gonna hold me up to what? Did you gonna like I'm finna go on Amazon? The books ain't gonna be there.
My mind is going 60 miles an hour. I didn't mean to say that. What I meant to say is I'm gonna get the book.
You don't believe
It's a scam, man. It's a scam.
It's a scam.
I done seen it on the news. I just seen it on the news. Look, man. Listen, Ali. I appreciate you, man. I know you said you're in the meeting, man. Again, thank you for being flexible and running this interview back. I'm still kicking myself because the conversation that we had last week, I thought it was just, not saying that this one wasn't, but it was such a genuine good conversation that I was just beating myself up that it didn't get recorded. But you're going to be in Columbus, Ohio at the Joanne Davison Theater January 30th. And anything you want to say out there to your fans, man?
Hey, see y'all there. And when I tell the story, believe it.
Believe it. It's not a scam, right? Ali Siddiq, thank you so much, man.
Make sure you push record. My brother.
All right, man. Peace.
Peace.